Good evening, everyone. So here's another book review on The Rose Bride by Nancy Holder. This is the classic, the first book jacket, and I like these book jackets. This is a retelling of The White Bride and the Black Bride, but I don't know why she changed the title to The Rose Bride, because the original fairy tale, I read the original fairy tale, I think I told you. There really is no mention of roses in the original fairy tale, but I guess for purpose sake and plot sake, she integrated roses, and so yeah. This actually, I really liked this book. It pulled me in, and I almost couldn't put it down sometimes. All the characters were great. Even the villains, their background story and how the villains, basically they're the Black Bride, and how how they became not the nicest people, and how they caused the White Bride to have to go, I guess, through trials and have to be in a transformation for the king prince. It's the king, and you first meet the hero of the story as a prince, but then then as time goes by, his father dies and he's the king. So by the end of the book, he is king. So yeah, it follows. I'd say it does follow the original fairy tale, where the Black Bride is in disguise of the White Bride, so he mistakes her for his actual love, and he brings his true bride out of a transformation. I won't tell you what transformation she's in, but in the original fairy tale, she is a white swan, or a swan. I know it's a swan, but I'm guessing there's obviously different colors of swans. So, and I liked how it ties in kind of like the Greek mythology of there weren't too many Greek gods that they mentioned, but they do mention Zeus, Artemis, Eros, Hermes, and this god of shadows, the Serene. That might actually be the villain's last name, the mother and the daughter that are the Black Bride. Anyway, they basically tell you in this story that it's the god of shadows. I don't know if there is an actual god of shadows. I would have to look it up online. But that'll be just my own purposes. And if you want to find out after reading this really good teen book, you probably might want to find out about the god of shadows if you don't know a whole lot about the Greek mythology. This is 15 chapters plus prologue. Yeah, prologue. So everything is amazing. Prologue, 14 chapters, perfectly amazing. But once you start reading chapter 15, it feels like it's rushed. I feel like she could have extended into more chapters, maybe have 20 chapters plus about 20 chapters with the prologue and an epilogue. But what can you really do? This is already in a reprint, but I do recommend reading this. This was a really good story. I actually will be buying this because I liked it so much. It's not part of my favorite, but it is that good that I will buy it, and I will read it again because it was a good story, and it's just it's a good story, and it's a really good retelling. I think it's a really good retelling of The White Bride and the Black Bride. That's it. My next book is the last book of the series of an unfortunate event series. This book is the 13th book, and it's called The End. I don't know why it's called. The title is called The End, but whatever. And it looks like Olaf, because like you can see here. You might not be able to see it on video, but I can kind of see it on my little picture screen that something happens to Olaf, because that's the tattoo of the eye on his ankle. Something definitely looks like it's going to happen. Definitely something bad is going to happen to Olaf. Let's read this little thing here. Dear reader, you are presumably looking at the back of this book, or the end of the end. The end of the end is the best place to begin the end, because if you read the end from the beginning of the end to the end of the end of the end, you will arrive at the end of your rope. I hate it when Lemony does that stuff. It's just, it hurts my brain. Anyway, this book is the last in a series of unfortunate events. And even if you braved the previous 12 volumes, you probably can't stand such unpleasantries as a fearsome storm, a suspicious beverage, a herd of wild sheep, an enormous birdcage, and a truly haunting secret about the Baudelaire parents. Okay, whatever. It has been my solemn occupation to complete the history of the Baudelaire orphans, and at last I am finished. You likely have some other occupation, so if I were you, I would drop this book at once. So the end does not finish you. With all due respect, Lemony Snicket. Too bad. I have to finish it. It should be interesting. I'm glad it's over. And I don't like it that it's thick. But again, I am very glad that it's going to be finished and I don't have to read this anymore. Because I started it and I only for some reason read the first 3 books. I don't know why I stopped after the first 3, but I'm finally going to finish this freaking series. It's a little annoying, but especially when he writes like this first paragraph that just like, hurt my brain. So I will finally be able to give you a full recap of this series, as I promised I would give a full review of this series, because I didn't want to do it for all 13 books. I am going to finish watching the last episode of Season 5, Star Trek Voyager. And then probably head to go to bed. So, I'll get my mouse in place. Good night, everyone.